Why have you approached me? You will find them in the main irrigation channel room, in the northern part of the plateau interior. The particle emitters there that once governed the flow of water to Telos can double as force cages. You shall not be challenged. As I have said, you will find them in the irrigation room in the northern part of the complex. Your ship is stored in the hangar. Atris has given you permission to leave this place and not to return. This was once a mighty irrigation center for Telos. It survived the orbital bombardment of the Sith, though the inhabitants did not. Ancient irrigation channels still lie beneath the surface of Telos, waiting to be used again for the reconstruction efforts, controlled from this facility. Shortly before the destruction of Dantooine by the forces of the traitor Jedi Malik, Atris had many Jedi artifacts and knowledge transported here secretly. Even the Sith prefer live prey to scavenging a corpse. She thought that a world already savaged by the Sith would not prove a target a second time. It was a place where the artifacts and the teachings of the Jedi could be kept safely if the Sith could not be turned aside. The Jedi Council sensed it, Master Vrook, Master Vandar, but it was too late to do much except make arrangements for evacuation. It was a dark day for the Order. Many on Dantooine did not survive, Jedi or not. Atris would not speak for many days after the attack, and we feared our mistress was lost to us. In time, she regained her voice and her strength. She brought the artifacts and the teachings of the Jedi here and has kept them safe. Yes, many relics from Dantooine, some which predate even the destruction of Ossus. She was not able to save all, but she saved enough. She was able to bring them here before the Academy's destruction. It was a fortunate thing. She was not able to save everything. Viewing the relics is not allowed without Atris's permission. There is truth in what you say. Yet many such artifacts are sealed away in Atris's chambers. But if you wish to see a few of them, speak to the last of the handmaidens. She has seen some of these objects and has an interest in such things. Yes, she should be in the training chamber to the north and west of here. She constantly seeks to improve herself so that she may no longer be ranked last among us. Because she is easily distracted by matters that do not concern her or her duty. Such distractions weaken her, and she knows this. I will not speak of them. Ask her yourself, if it matters to you. We share the same father, and we all bear the face of our mother. It is not unusual for the Achani of the same parents to be born so as to be indistinguishable to outsiders. As I have said, it is not unusual for the Achani of the same parents to be born so as to be indistinguishable to outsiders. If you seek to raise anger in me, you will fail, exile. I tolerate your presence only upon orders of the mistress. She did not order me to endure your questions. One cannot take back an action, and often apologizing for it only compounds the insult. Simply
Did you find what you came for? There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still. I see it now. The act has left its marks. Be warned, unresolved events from our past can create wounds in the present and the future. And more importantly, they can distract you, weaken you. It could prove fatal against the enemies we face. Very well, let us depart. He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash. I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we? Of course, General. If you wish, I may travel with you or join you at the ship. Very well, General.
What is it?
Why have you approached me? You may... The mistress? She is meditating, and she does not wish to be disturbed. Your presence here has troubled her, and I hope you do not choose to trouble her further. She leads us. As she rebuilds Telos, she rebuilds the Order, and through them, the galaxy. We serve the Jedi. We do not question them. Yet, Atris has told us that the work here at Telos may pay for similar efforts in many worlds along the Rim that were destroyed when the Jedi turned on each other. She has said the Jedi Order needs such a foundation if it is to rebuild. She faults the teaching of many of the Jedi Masters as the spark of the Jedi Civil War.
Indeed. A most curious reason for a war.
Atris has said that if Revan and Malak had been properly instructed in the ways of the Jedi, they never would have fallen, and nor would you, Exile. That is unknown to me. I have never observed Atris to teach Jedi, nor would I wish to.
Yes, to teach one needs students. I've seen few of those since our arrival.
Atris has chosen instead to focus her efforts on galactic recovery. Once the galaxy breathes again, disciples will come. She predicted you would say as much. She seems to know you quite well. Perhaps you are the one who knows nothing. You may ask. We serve the Jedi. Atris is the only Jedi here, this is true, but the Mistress will bring others in time. You are no Jedi. Atris has made that clear. When you went to war, you gave up the mantle of the Jedi and became something else. You...
Okay, we will be looking for the artifact room that the girl has mentioned, and we'll also try to figure out why she tried to download the memory core of our droid.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about. I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day, that will no longer be true. I know a little of them, yes. Much Jedi knowledge is stored here. Secrets of their teachings, combat styles, and discipline. The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation chamber. Entry is forbidden. Atris has made her orders on the matter clear. Entry to her meditation chamber is forbidden. To even ask shows you... Most come from Dantooine, brought here before the academy there was destroyed by Malak. Not all relics were able to be saved, for there was not time to rescue them. I am not permitted to speak of such things, and it is not your concern. I have seen a few of them. Yes, they were not always in Atris's meditation chamber. There were many relics, among them small cubes, warm to the touch, each containing their own light.
Jedi holocrons, yet warm to the touch, you said.
Yes, and with a light about them. When held, some would speak, ask strange questions. Yes, their questions were confusing. They seemed to think I was someone else, someone's student.
Ah, of course they did. A simple misunderstanding, no doubt.
I had thought perhaps I had damaged them in some way, but I could not think of what I had done. The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation chamber. Entry is forbidden. I will not. Atris has made her orders on the matter clear, and she says you are no Jedi. Entry to her meditation chamber is forbidden. I have seen it. Most... You may ask. She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and such trust takes time. You may ask. It dishonors me that they would say such a thing to an outsider, but I cannot deny the truth in what they say. My thoughts are not always focused on training. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts. There is much knowledge here, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy. To the Ichani, battle is a means of communication. It is an art, in the truest sense of the word. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause. Yes, the methods you use to meet your opponent speak truer than any words can express. When you risk pain or death, there is no truer sacrifice or strength. If that is where one's devotion lies, when you risk pain or death for another, there is no truer test of your beliefs and strength. It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry, or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics, in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it. Through battle, Revan was meeting betrayal with betrayal, and showing Malak the pain he had inflicted on his master. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed.
To claim to know anything of Revan's choices, or what lay in his heart when Malak fell, is conceit, servant of Atris. And whether Revan had any choice in the matter at all is something else you should consider. The Force is a powerful thing to wield, or deny.
But to say that seems an untruth based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not?
Ah, but at what point does the power the Force exerts submerge any attempt at choice or free will. You have taken a complicated question, servant of Atris, and you have trivialized it with your answer and lack of experience.
If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true. You may ask. I know a little of them, yet the Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation.
I think we can exploit the fact that she is interested in it and try to get them, but I don't know whether we should.
There were many relics.
Jedi holocrons.
Yes. I had thought... I will entry. I am... You may ask. Before you go... Please, I wish to know.
Should we give her an answer, or I try to tease her with this one?
Very well. Forgive me, exile. I did not...
Curious thing. What lies behind it? Did she? Perhaps it is a meditation.
The construction of this door is like nothing I've seen on Telos, and it is not the same as the rest of the facility here. Let's go.
I hear you.
Maybe we'll have the access there later during the story, but right now it seems inaccessible. Unless I'm missing something. Okay, it says for good, so we won't return here. Okay, let's try to talk to that girl again. Maybe we can persuade her.
You are the exile. She said you... That is not all she says. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalore. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with them. So it was a matter of choice then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feeling. Yes. Without having seen you, battle is a pure... You may ask. I am... It is on, but I cannot. Perhaps... There is much knowledge. There is... I know your meaning, but I have not been clear on mine. Stance, form, discipline are... It was to the Jedi traitor Mal when yet I believe he was speaking. Through back to...
Okay, I don't know what I chose in the last option and gained dark side points, but...
You are... The Jedi relics are kept by Atris has made entry. I will not entry. I will not the Jedi. Atris has made entry. I have seen a few of them. Yes. There were many relics. Among them, small cubes, warm to the touch. Each
Jedi holocrons.
Yes, and with a... The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation. Atris has... I am aware of this. I do not doubt your... There are many who went to war against the Mandalorians, and few... I honor the face of my mother. I do not wish to discuss it. If there is some... It is not a sensitive subject. You may ask. I am... But perhaps... There is much knowledge here. There is so much about... Even if I possessed the senses that the Jedi were said to have, Atris has set us upon the road we are to travel until the end of our days. We are to serve the... That is something I had not considered. You have given me something to reflect on, Exile. I thank you. There is much knowledge here, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their... Even if I... Atris has set us upon the... That is something I had not... You have given me... You are... I know a little... The Jedi relics are kept by Atris. Atris has made entry. I have...
Not sure we can persuade her at this point. I think we triggered something, but I don't know whether it affects just the dark side, light side points on our side, or we actually opened some new branch of the quest so we can get her to help us, which doesn't seem to be the case.
You are... She said you betrayed the Jedi. That is not all she says. Eight. I believe that is the... Without having seen you and Atris battle. You may ask. The Jedi relics are kept by... I will... Entry.
Jed...
Atris has...
Okay, I don't want to spend any more time on this because it's seems like a dead end with at least our current build. Maybe if we have put more points into charisma, it would have helped.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left?
But why? Her oath.
Her reasons are unknown to me, but I fear she may no longer be trusted. We will save her if we can, but we must let her discover the exile's nature for herself. Some evils must be confronted, and isolation from it would have been no defense.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What is the machine saying? We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You are correct, Kavar. When he was here, I felt it. It was as if he was not there, more like an echo.
The war has touched the youngest of the Order. Many of them have lost themselves in battle against the Mandalorians.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. He has lost himself. He is no Jedi. He walked Revan's path, but he was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the Exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. He has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let him depart. He will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with him, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let him go because we must. Where he travels, he carries his destination with him.
Malachor 5 should have been his grave. You saw it in his walk, and in the Force. It was as if he was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told him the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believed was true. There's still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed. Until then, he must accept his journey.
But he may never discover the truth, and he will never know why we cast him out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Well, we don't want your help. Or any of your sisters.
It is just me, and I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help. I think the strength of the enemy is unknown, but it is greater than 5 can hope to defeat without aid.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey? I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General.
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself. It is no matter. I am used to worse, but thank you for your
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore? That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that. I don't know, General, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete. I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need. I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal. Though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable. All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior. I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place. General, need something? I moved around for a couple years. Working as a starship mechanic got me from place to place. I wasn't ready to settle down after the war. Then you understand my restlessness. Though the war had ended, I couldn't find peace in anything. As long as I kept moving, I didn't have to think about what happened. Know what I mean? I'm sure you do. I decided I'd do something constructive. I wanted to make up for the things I'd done in the war. I wanted to design planetary shields, but there weren't many systems with the credits to spare. There was more that needed to be rebuilt and protected. I found out that Telos was going to be the flagship project for the Republic, and it sounded like something good. I saw Telos before the Sith raised it. It deserved a better fate. Zerka ruined everything. I thought I could force Zerka out on my own, but I guess I can't fix everything myself. All I wanted to do was send a message, but I couldn't even do that right. That's the past, though. It's good to be working with you again, General. Something else I can help you with? That old thing? I built him when I was a kid. Been following me around for years now, despite what I've done to try and chase him off. Hey, just kidding. I'm happy to have you around. I would, but then I wouldn't be the only one with a floating sphere following him around, and I kind of like that. He helps me out with repairs. I outfitted him with a cutting laser and some other tools for delicate modifications. He's also good for singeing the pants of annoying techs. I've been thinking about doing some other work on him, but I barely have time. Too busy fixing up the ship. Something else I can help you with? I got tired of it. Kept dropping my hydro spanner. Figured I'd get a new one. I was only kidding. Actually, it was a souvenir from Malachor. I was lucky it was all I lost. But at least it gave me something to do, right? Everyone always said I was probably half machine anyway. Something else I can help you with? Just working on the ship. I'm not sure who got her up and running, but I'm amazed she's even space-worthy. Whoever made these repairs doesn't think like most mechanics. But don't worry, I'll get everything in shape.
Yes? I am training, so that if danger should strike, my body and my reflexes will be prepared. That, and I had forgotten how long hyperspace travel can be. If I do not have something to focus my attention on, I fear my sanity will erode as well. Training is something reserved for certain caste members of the Echani, but I do not see the harm in instructing you in some basic principles. I do not understand how you and Atris fight, but I will instruct you on how Echani children are raised on warfare. All Echani fighting principles rely on foundations. If one does not understand the most basic of fighting moves, it is not possible to understand the higher tiers. It is similar to learning the alphabet of a language before being able to use words, then sentences. As a foundation, I will instruct you in our elementary movements. The body itself is the first weapon you must master. It is not something that can be described. Let us duel, you and I and that shall teach you more. Use only your hands and feet to strike at me, nothing else, or our combat shall be over. Do not resort to using any items or any force techniques you... Very well. I shall match my movements to resist your efforts, and do not...
Ooh la la.
You fought well indeed. You have caught the principles of the style by watching and anticipating my movements. Before you go, there is something I must know. Why did you go back, face trial? I do not understand it myself. It was always something I was curious about. To walk to one's own sentence willingly? It is a brave thing. You may have. She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and... That is not all she said. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with them, because you had fallen so far you... Without battle is a pure... You may... Before entering Atris's service, yes, I carried a name, as all the children of the Ichani do. It is not important. My title and rank is of consequence, not my name. I take value in Atris's service, not in myself. We all have value in our oaths to others, and the promises we make. When we make that pledge, we are pledging ourselves to something greater. When importance is placed on the self, then by such acts the galaxy is unmade. If reasons of the self is why you turned away, then yes, perhaps there was a judgment there. But it was not intended as an attack. I do not know. That is a question you must ask yourself. You may have. I am training, so that if danger... That, and I had forgotten how long hyperspace travel...
What do you mean, Pazak? What, again?
No, I do not trust him. That too. That is untrue. You and the Iridonian trust each other. Or at least the Iridonian trusts you. We heard much of the Iridonian when we served Atris. Atris believed that the Iridonian held the knowledge to restoring Telos. Yes. His skill with machines is something beyond which most can aspire to. His shield technology surpasses the designs of... I do not realize if you know what it means to have such a one respect and follow you. The Iridonian allied himself with no one on the entire world of Telos, yet he will... His stance, in many ways, mirrors yours. Where he walks, he carries a world upon his shoulders. And like you, I do not know... I see. Forgive my words. They... The Mandalorian Wars were like that for many. Many returned, who could not tell of their experiences in a way that could bring meaning to them. You may ask. I am training. That... You may... I do not think you are ready for further instruction. Each movement of our arts demands some time. Duels among the Ichani are rituals, and it does not allow for armor or anything that restricts movement. Your modesty has no place in combat. Even the youngest of the Ichani understand this. You should as well. You may... I do not wish to speak of her to you. Her actions are her own, and to you... Yes. Though my father's blood I share with my sisters, I wear the face of my mother. My father was Usanis, an Ichani general. He left our family to serve in the Mandalorian Wars, but his choice was not because of battle. He went to join my mother, one whose movements and spirit matched his. His only desire was that they fight together, side by side, for as long as there were enemies amassed against them.
This is the smoothest move, I guess.
I never saw her face, and she did not return from the final battle of the war. She died in the battle that shattered Malachor V, and her body was never recovered. My father returned from the Mandalorian Wars, and did not enter battle again. He entered politics, a caste where one's battles are fought through words rather than action. He was slain by Revan in the Jedi Civil War. When Revan sought to destabilize the Ichani worlds, Revan succeeded. The fact that our father chose battle is not shameful, but that is not the reason he went to war. He went to war to be with the one he loved, but not the one he had pledged himself to. He was disloyal. I am the mark of that disloyalty. It is said that such things run in the blood, and I have fought long to prove that this is not so. That is why I am different from my sisters. Yet I am pledged to them, and Atris, and I would die before betraying them. I tell you this in trust, and ask that you not speak of it to others. I only wish you to know. Because when my father returned from the Mandalorian Wars, he walked as you do now. There was something wounded inside him. He did not speak of what had happened there, and with us he was silent, changed. When I look upon you, I see in you an answer to a question I have searched for all my life. And that is why I tell you this now. I do not believe you to be the monster Atris made you out to be. I believe your choice was my father's choice, and it was just as difficult. You have earned my trust. I wish to honor the trust you have shown me, and I wish to explain what you meant to me. I know it is difficult for others to see why I am here, but it was important that you know one of the reasons, and know that it is not simply duty that I am here, but because I want to be here. I want to fight with you side by side for as long as there are enemies that threaten you. You are a leader. Your stance, your every action proves it. You honor me, exile. Together, then. You may have.
How many more do we intend to gather to us? This ship is not the galaxy. There is only so... Then prepare for an army, I think, for it seems many more will come in time. They will follow you because you are a leader. Their kind always needs such, even when the figure deserves no such obedience. Because I am not blind, that is why. I see what they see, hear their voices when they speak to you, and notice the change when they speak to others. I know many things, and I know what I am not. I am no leader. I speak with a voice that will never move others. I speak with a passion that goes unheard. They obey you because you are a leader, and perhaps something more. Have you noticed what has been happening? Have you felt it in them? They echo you, either fighting or surrendering to their feelings, their loyalty, their duty. Your mere presence serves as an example to them of something to uphold or something to fight against. Watch them carefully, see their patterns, and recognize the strength in it. Influence can be a weapon, one that you may need before your journey is done. Good, and then act upon it. It is a power. That was Revan's way, I believe. Have you never asked yourself how Revan took the Republic and Jedi beneath him, how he made them his? Ah, but to make officers turn on their own people, to bomb innocent worlds, to make pacts. Strong influence, indeed. And where did these Sith teachings come from? And why did Revan embrace them so strongly? So many questions, yet the answers are few. Oh, did they? No. Revan met no Sith empire, yet he learned their teachings. Many have mistaken the soldiers beneath Revan, the machines that were constructed to be the Sith. They are wrong. The Sith is a belief, and what Revan formed was not an empire, but something else. Yet how he did it is curious. And I suspect the answer to that question is tied to another. How was Revan able to corrupt so many so quickly? Not a one. But we shall see where our journey takes us, I think, and see how many answers we come across, yes? Ask, and I will... There is nothing wrong with my sight, if that is your question. I see all that I need, though the seeing of things flesh and blood has failed me some time ago. They were distractions only. There is nothing wrong with my eyes. They simply have atrophied from use. They are adequate to distinguish shapes, silhouettes. If need be, I could heal them, restore my sight. But sight can prove a distraction. When one relies on sight to perceive the world, it is like trying to stare at the galaxy through a crack in the door. But that is a lesson for another time. You must learn to see crude matter for what it is, before the veil is lifted. Ask. Does it matter? Of course it does. Such titles allow you to break the galaxy into light and dark, categorize it. Perhaps I am neither, and I hold both as what they are, pieces of a whole. Know that I am your teacher, and that is enough. What do you wish to hear? That I once believed in the code of the Jedi? That I felt the call of the Sith? That perhaps once I held the galaxy by its throat? That for every good work that I did, I brought equal harm upon the galaxy? That perhaps what the greatest of the Sith Lords knew of evil they learned from me? What would it matter now? There is only so much comfort in knowing such things, and it is not who I am now. There are dark places in the galaxy where few tread, ancient centers of learning, of knowledge, but I did not walk alone. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best. But my will was not law. There were disagreements, ambition, and hunger for power. There are techniques within the Force against which there is no defense. I was cast down, stripped of my power, exiled. I suffered indignities and fell into darkness. Learn from me, my mistakes, and use that knowledge to become greater than I. That is all I ask of you, and that is all I desire. In you, all my hopes rest for the future, for the Force. If it means so much to you, then this I swear to you upon my life, upon our lives, that when your training is complete, I will answer everything. There shall be no more shadows between us, only truth that exists between master and apprentice. Perhaps I think it is fair to say that few did. Revan had a mother and father, parents, ancestors, like all Jedi do. And when he awakened to his potential, I was there to see it. But where he was born, where he came from, I do not know, any more than I know where he walks now. Some said that Revan was born in the outer regions, beyond the Rim, and that's what called to him during the Mandalorian Wars. And after, it was the call of home. I know more, but it may not be enough for the answers you seek. Fall? Ah, already you presume much. You were there at Malachor. Revan's choices were always his own. It was not teaching or circumstance or example, it was him. Is that what he was? Or was he always true to himself, no matter what personality he wore? And there is something that the Council may never understand, that perhaps Revan never fell. The difference between a fall and a sacrifice is sometimes difficult, but I feel that Revan understood that difference more than anyone knew. The galaxy would have fallen if Revan had not gone to war. Perhaps he became the Dark Lord out of necessity, to prevent a greater evil. I do not believe the Jedi Council changed Revan, as they claimed. They merely stripped away the surface and allowed the true self to emerge again, someone who was willing to wage war to save others. But that is my belief, since I knew Revan from long ago, as a master knows their apprentice. He came to me, yes, both before and after, before Revan knew himself. And after, in the times when Revan was coming to his own and learning he was more than he had been told. At one time, Revan was my Padawan, in times past, long ago. But Revan, when he had learned all he could, had other masters, that fool Jah and other Jedi on other planets. He learned from each, but in the end, he turned back to me. When he realized there was nothing more to be learned from the Jedi except how one could leave them forever. Revan was power. It was like staring into the heart of the Force. Even then, you could see the Jedi he would slay etched on his soul. You are different. When I look at you, it is like staring at the death of the Force. I know more, but it may... ignorance, and perhaps they do not remember or care. It is of no consequence to me or to them. Am I? Then perhaps you should know there are techniques in the Force where one can cloud the memory of others, make their presence so small as to be unnoticed. And on the worlds where we have encountered these Jedi, there is much life and death where sensing such things is difficult. As I said, it is of no consequence to me or to them. No, but if I did, you would never know, so my words only carry as much worth as you believe them to. But perhaps you will understand this, that perhaps it is important to me that you see me and my actions uncloaked. It is important that your judgments, whether be good or bad, stem from seeing me as I truly am. Then you are learning quickly. Distrust is an effective shield and should be carried always. Nothing more than we already know, and anything else I know. There is danger in such knowledge, even if I was certain of... Ask. There are countless reasons, and I have neither the time nor the patience to list them all. Do you think to turn her from Atris's will? If so, I hope you're arrogant, but I will abide her presence. She... Because Atris is a threat, and as much as she would try to use us against you, so may we use her servants against her. Do not see every enemy as an enemy. See them instead as an ally, whether they realize it or not. This situation may yet work to our advantage. If that is your opinion, it is noted. Ask. I know her as much as I know any Jedi. If you have other questions, you may...
You seem pretty calm. It's almost streaming off of you. A lot calmer than you were on Paragus, you seemed, well, a little less at peace with yourself. Now you're different. It's hard to explain. Well, it's good to see. You're a nice counterbalance to that old witch back there. Alright, but I'm out of credits, so it's Republic Senate. That's where we waste a lot of time trading cards and trying to beat each other. But in the end, nobody wins. Everybody loses, and nobody accomplishes anything. It's like stalemate, except the goal is to pass time until the audience gets bored and leaves. Well, here we are, the Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. Not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians, and the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive. I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While he walks upon the smuggler's moon, he is not to be harmed. You may watch him, observe his movements, but nothing more. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Bomababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu esrectonatada beer mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra.
Banisokokran, joka mata storch ban locha. Joanna masaranka ma ramazurata. Keso juskrita lorsa. Yumacha fueko mikojira.
Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Tu rantamana sobu. Febko emaream ga watasitu insula rakarakachata. Tamaso kinchuda wanka. Mopi una wana si chokoratawa.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
The Hopobotenyo go Jucho Picha, Gwentaba ni Sochu, Norotoga Proto Lala Shishi, Juadosa Jibacha, Ratakman San, Tokosha na Chitolo, Joanna Masaranka ma Ramazurata, Keso Juskrita Lorsa, Yumacha Fueko Mikojira, Kawanabota Atagwa Kankadiwa, Yutaka Alwanji Yumalipa, Tues Mahawika Si Wawanta Mo Guika Wansoba, Wakama Nurawa.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Honto no Saka, Jita Bedwana Maticha, Doveri Nincha, Yonona Shitasa Chuch, Si machatana, dona we searcha makaran.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours. No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. All right then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you. There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have something.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult. But this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. All right, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad. It'll be fine where it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. And by right, I mean you're wrong. Telling me it'll be fine where it is. What, you think I'm stupid? I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it? Yeah? Well, it's the first I've heard of it. Tell you what, let me check it out. If you're cleared, then you... And you call the shots. But this is gonna...
The few things that I didn't mention during the cutscene. So the handmaiden is still just wearing the underwear, which is extremely funny. And makes me wonder whether she would be going like that through the whole game if we do not do anything. She is. Let's check her equipment.
Yes?
I certainly prefer the other set of armor, if I may say.
No! Look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
Prepare yourself.
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure. Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately.
The voice actor and the character model does not match at all, like...
The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it. You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing. Whatever your reason...
Spare a few credits, friend. All right. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know. No, should I? He doesn't sound like a Hutt. What, is he a bounty hunter or an exchange boss? This sector's filled with refugees from the Jedi Civil War, and even as far back as the Mandalorian Wars. Refugees and war veterans both, and anyone else who was rendered homeless by the war. The Jedi destroyed planets across the galaxy, and here's where the wreckage ended up. A lot of space lanes cross at Nar Shaddaa, and once here, it's hard to move on. Even fighter pilots from the war can't get work at the docks. The freighter crews are full up. There's no work here and no way out, unless you want to become a hired muscle for the Exchange, or work in a Hutt slave camp. Friend, you did promise some credits. Look, one other thing. It's obvious you're new around here. I can tell it just by looking at you. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place, and easy to get lost in. If you want, I can keep an ear out for you. Let you know if I hear anything. I'll do that then. I'll come seek you out if I hear anything I think you might want to know.
That was a nice deal. I did not expect that.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need? Thank you, stranger.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring... Very well, but mind what I have said. Use...
And what did he want?
Not much. Just answers to some questions.
Really? Interesting.
Damn, she is fast, because we've just been here.
Gerektada cemense bingar rukutoto unde chuchamataso benkisha manensitse. Fele. Teriwana jun konata della raguno tuna. Dai. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru katada. Fieratora pada no ringatel camarada telefibo.
Sulstan's hearing's pretty sharp, if you couldn't guess from the...
Va te vaca reware. Sumukun chere nurigrom. Mune deriva con...
Big Ears here might know someone who can change the Ebon Hawk's ID signature. Could be you.
Der interrunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan go. Dosane gravalanto. Dosent horrenteri. Gele resonto shenig. Der interrunto wakare kwe wapatera.
Yes? You may ask. Before entering Atris, it is not important. We all have value in our oaths to others. When important... I do not...
Haven't heard anything more yet. I'll come...
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship.
Your ship? I'd lay off the spice if I were you. That's our ship, not yours.
Was I talking to you? I tell you, that ship... It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars. The registry's 34P7JK. It's got a temperamental hyperdrive, and the turrets can be sluggish and unresponsive against fast-moving fighters. She's also got 2 secret compartments, one in the cargo hold, right near the plasteel cylinders in the back, and the second beneath the bunks in the starboard cabin.
Whoa, he could have gotten that information some other way than owning the ship. Come on, he's skifting us.
So, you gonna hand it over now? We'll see about that. Watch yourself. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
Atten, restrain yourself. Besides, a blaster would be unnecessary. When a nerve strike to his neck would incapacitate him painfully without inflicting any lasting harm.
Point taken.
Graci ubaci kompadwana muska na boska wamba. Trelieba kontosa. Manso karlema konjore bimasa. Ifrekuntas pleegde simron chore krenun. Nora hagwa buska yokola laubaka.
Hava hinemas temadana hisnaste hiha.
Charn kotos nerema keras. Karanara kaklerata simende tirana. Trattosaton, Kelsim Pabanusan Yutor.
I hear you.
Honestly, like, in terms of, like, character, Atten is quite nice, but in terms of usefulness in the fight, he is quite useless. He doesn't have any useful skills, he just shoots the blaster.
Yes?
She, on the other hand, is quite useful in the combat, but she is quite a not nice person to be around.
Dawachosimu poinda rakawa ichi rendu momo para makawana abawasi. Dawachosimu. Bomababe want to susintu mukarata.
Ask a Twi'lek. It's...
Febko emariam gawata situ insula rakarakachata. Tonos emaragith. Wanarakorachi drum ka sai. Febko emariam gawata situ insula raka. Tonos... Tonora... Tonos emaragith. Wanarakorachi drum.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver. It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare. I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life. One might as well move the universe, but such manipulation... It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intent. Not in the sense you understand it. The ability to fool the minds of others, to dominate them on a massive scale that you... Manipulation is done through propelling events or selected. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment for as long as it will last.
Sarda chornilo tabe duana mataka nus. Do daka prota gocha. Jarkomati sochpan. Krimso anatis chi norta hirembechok. Wendin. Machi tu pacha machalawaba. Dona sinto noraki pashakani. Kokparodunga ninisindo shoka. Mushka meto. Vanakabota. Auya tagwa kankidora. Uba volba holosha. Misha.
Maybe we can get even lower discount, but by going back to him and then back to her until they will no longer match each other.
Tonoranga manakaran, Ipo Inshawa. Bomababe want to susin to mukarata. To esfrektonatada bear mabar chokto. Torenibu, Machabi doko, Tonoranga manach. Taranamo Sibu and Dasarans, Krema Sunkun Ratungala, Chawi Moju, Donos Emma. Dawacho.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. But oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time.
Okay, I didn't read the last part. I was just thinking that I will make them give me some credits. Oopsies, I guess.
How did you do that? Stay away from me!
I guess the Jedi Code is still alive and well. There's a lot of people who need help in the galaxy. If we stop to help each one, the Sith are gonna be on us faster than anything. Let's just accomplish our...
The bounty hunters have been laying low recently, like they're waiting for something.
Graci, ubaci, compa doana musca. Na... Gavadumpa mu... Bornaci, ninsopa, maranca, wongo, com... Dovrei con mili wosasli. Muliwrawa, iberendiati.
Malampas tarawando krimoga. Jona yurturenga chi we eat. Bani suka kran, joka mata. Jun soba me rapa, no kuma randisa mak chiksa, kucha bak tonki. Moga chi nota harempe wanachi, drumpaba nakares magre. Kavadumpa kup, da hupo boteño go jucho picha, gwem taba ni sochu, norotoga proto. Takam tuchis miku mogo graba, ke chichul ida. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi boteña, tache morota kamsa, javaskobo subjob. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi boteña, tache morota kamsa. Krech, mizoto minaka de sama krema krach vitu. Krema nanga. Kawanabota atagwa kanka diwa. Yutaka alwan. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi boteña, tache morota kamsa. Javasku. Mogachi nota harempe wanachi, drumpaba nakares magre. Kavadumpa ku papayi mokata. Kavadumpe masura ku, popayi bot. Dahupo boteño go jucho picha, gwem taba ni sochu, norotoga proto lala shishi, jubadosa jibacha, ratak mansan, dokosha nach. Kawanabota atagwa kanka diwa. Yuta.
Loka kamarane. Taranamo sibu indasarans. Krema sunku. Taranamo sibu indasarans. Krema. Donos imaragith. Wanarakorachi drumkas. Loka kamaran endosoran we no chabi. Taranamo sibu indasarans. Krema sunkun ratungal. Taranamo sibu indasarans. Taranamo sibu indasaran. Donos imaragith. Wanarakorachi.
Dorota sinta winot. Fasa susho wi. Kana ina doka ches. Me poga rifti noso me mas tolo. Crimso chi mapo hirembi kachapas. Dok ini kemarin zuni inash di John Bla wenso mas. Tong abau. Tonichi ramagrinzo mos rapana. Dawanga nochi. Roren manama kochpa. Posoma orit dokini kam. Posman funi wado ni.
Dopo botegno. Cavadumpe masuraku, popayi botegna, tache morota ka.
Watakla tungji mulara Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoki Kawana bota yunta tanga ki Tarak krono king bolotonga chopa chavma genruta
Okay, I think this is the good point to end for today. We'll probably continue our playthrough tomorrow. Until then, take care.